Hi everybody, welcome to another update on the stock screener. I got a request to make a Verde Agritech video, so that's what I'm going to do. Normally I don't talk about stocks that I don't have in portfolio because I don't want to bash them. But since you are asking for it, I will give my opinion on it. So, Verde Agritech has crashed from $5 down to 2.5. That's 50% lower. And will this go lower or will it rebound? Well, for this, let's go back to our video of exit strategy. And I advise you to watch this video because this is very important. In that video, you will hear that fertilizers are very correlated to natural gas. And what has natural gas done lately? It has crashed from 10 to 2. Now, I'm an expert in natural gas right now because I have followed everything about it. And I know that it's not going to go up because of increasing stock levels, because of less EU demand for natural gas, because of huge production in shale gas. So this is going to stay at $2 and even go to zero, as Eric Nuttall is saying. So there's a big chance that this is going to go lower. And that means that fertilizers will also follow, especially urea. But as urea goes down, then the other fertilizers will also follow. And all the information is in that video. So I expect that the potash price, which is here, will keep on falling, probably to the 300 level. You can also watch the sulfur price, which is also crashing. So that's also a leading indicator for lower potash price. So it's not going well for Verde Agritech. Now we can look at the valuations, but we already know what the guidance is. The guidance was around 20 million EBITDA. If you do times 5, that's 100 million. So we are now fair value at 450 potash. But look at this, it's going lower. So if we are in the 350, then the guidance will not be met. So let's take a look at the valuations. So first, let's take a look at the costs, because costs are the most important. Where is the costs? So here, the fourth quarter, we had a cost of 750 CAD per ton of KCl equivalent. So that's about $570 per ton. That's a huge cost. And that's why they had a net loss in Q4. But that's probably because they have other costs added to that. But for next year, these are the numbers. So we have 1 million tons of glauconite production divided by 6 gives us 200,000 KCl. This is the revenue, this is the EBITDA, and then we can calculate the costs based on these numbers. So the cost is about $330 per ton, and I have added it here. It's a slightly higher than last time, but it's around $350 the cost, and that's about here. So if this keeps on dropping, then Verde will not be able to make money anymore at some point, and they will need to reduce tonnage again. Why reduce tonnage? Because they will need to sell it closer to the mine. That will decrease the costs. So watch this chart because it's very important for your investment. So based on the current potash price, $420, probably $620 with transport, I get a valuation with 30% discount of around, fair value. It's around fair value right now. So if you think that potash will stay at the current level, then it's fair value. But there won't be any upside because nobody is buying potash. The company has reduced guidance from 2 million tons to 1 million tons. And that's it. That's for this year. We are in high season and the tonnage, the sales are not coming. So maybe for next year, if you can wait for next year, then maybe it improves. But for this year, I don't see any upsides. Especially when potash goes even lower. Let's say it goes to 400. Then we'll have this. Valuation goes lower. Let's say we go to 380. Then the valuation goes to 60 million. So that's a huge downside risk. Could go down another 40%. Let's say it goes to even lower, like 350. Then it will drop to 40 million. That's a 60% downside if potash drops to $350 per ton. And there is a possibility that this will happen and go to here. So it's very dangerous, I think, to buy Verde at this point because the margins are tiny. They are not large anymore like the last time. They are now very small, very low margin, 20% margin, actually. And where do you see that? The 20% margin? Well, you just look at the guidance. This is the revenue. This is the EBITDA. Take some taxes off of that and you have like less than 20% margin, right? So this is a low margin business right now. And I don't like to buy low margin businesses, especially in a bear market where natural gas will come down even more, or at least stay very weak. So yeah, it's not looking great. There's not a lot else to say about Verde. Oh, yeah, the taxes went up as well, so even less upside. So yeah, there's nothing positive to say. Forget about the expansion plans because we're not even close to going against capacity of 3 million tons. We're only at 1 million tons. And the problem is that if you don't operate at full capacity, then the cost per ton is higher. We are not utilizing the whole plant, and that's also a problem. So a lot of problems. Sales aren't going that well. I would just wait it out and buy something else. And I'll see you in the next video.